What if I told you that cutting her off isn't the punishment you think it is? You're sitting there, believing that going no contact will shatter her world, that your silence will echo through her soul and bring her to her knees. You imagine her staring at her phone, haunted by the void you left behind, regretting every choice she made. But let's rip the bandage off right now. Most women see it coming. They've played this game before. They've braced themselves for the quiet, prepared for the moment you pull away. No contact might stop the noise, but it doesn't touch her ego. It doesn't shift the power. It doesn't make her question herself the way you hope. You're here because you gave her everything. Your loyalty, your time, your trust, your heart. You poured yourself into her, and when she walked away, she didn't just leave you lonely. She left you questioning your worth, replaying every moment, wondering where you fell short. That sting you feel? It's not just a wound. It's a signal. It's an awakening. This isn't about petty revenge or groveling to win her back. This is about becoming a man whose silence isn't just the absence of words, but the presence of raw, unshakable power. Welcome to WisdomWavesAura, where we're diving deeper than no contact. We're rewiring your mind, rebuilding your frame, and unleashing the force inside you that makes her wish she never let you go. This is about crushing her ego without lifting a finger, without firing a shot. If you're done being haunted by her memory, if you're ready to rise from the ashes of rejection and reclaim your power, hit that like button, subscribe to WisdomWavesAura, turn on notifications, and drop "I rise from rejection" in the comments below. Let's dive into the truth and forge a new you. You're not grieving her, you're grieving an illusion. The woman you loved, the one who said all the right things, who touched your soul, who maybe even promised forever. She wasn't real. She was a projection, a mirage built from your loyalty, your hope, your desperate need to believe someone could see you and stay. You crafted her into something she never was, placed her on a pedestal she didn't earn. But let's be real. What did she actually do? Did she ghost you without a word? Did she breadcrumb you with half-hearted texts, keeping you on a leash while she played the victim? Did she run to another man while you were still bleeding, still trying to make sense of it all? That's not love. That's not loyalty. That's ego. Hers, not yours. Every time you scroll through old messages, replay those moments when she seemed perfect, you're feeding that illusion. You're keeping her elevated in your mind, giving her power she doesn't deserve. You're validating her existence in a space she abandoned. The first step to crushing her ego is to burn that pedestal to the ground. Stop romanticizing her. Stop worshiping a version of her that only ever lived in your head. She wasn't your soulmate, she was your teacher. The lesson? Stop loving potential. Stop excusing chaos. Stop repainting red flags as white. The moment you let go of that fantasy, you take back your power. You start seeing her for what she is, flawed, human, and not your loss. When you strip away the filter of emotion, you'll see the cracks you ignored, the patterns you excused. She didn't break your heart. She exposed where you lacked boundaries. Burn the illusion, and in its ashes you'll find the truth. You didn't lose her. You lost the version of you that needed her. No contact is the bare minimum. Anyone can block a number, mute a chat, walk away. That's not power. That's just a start. If you want to crush her ego, you need to go deeper. You need to become unreachable. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. She can't just be out of your phone. She needs to be out of your headspace. That means no emotional leaks. No Instagram stories posted to catch her eye. No cryptic quotes designed to sting. No subtle flexes begging her to notice the new you. Because here's the raw truth. If she knows you still care, she still controls you. If her silence, her vague post, or her name popping up in your notifications can still pull a reaction, she's winning. A man who lives by stoic principles doesn't play to lose. To become unreachable, you master detachment. This isn't about acting cold or faking indifference. It's about being in control. You don't check her socials. You don't ask mutual friends how she's doing. You don't let her live rent-free in your thoughts. You build an inner fortress, a sanctuary she can't touch. Women who thrive on attention hate indifference. They crave a reaction, anger, pain, anything to prove they still matter. But silence paired with zero emotional residue? That's torture. That's when the doubts creep in. That's when her ego starts to wobble. She'll wonder what you're doing, who you're becoming, why you're not chasing. Unreachable doesn't just mean she can't text you. It means she can't predict you. She can't read you. You become a mystery, a question mark that keeps her up at night. When she realizes she has no access to your mind, your heart, or your plans, the power dynamic flips. That's when she starts to unravel. Subscribe to WisdomWavesAura, and let's keep building that fortress together. Most men fear silence. They treat it like a prison, a waiting room where they sit, hoping she'll reach out, regret, or come crawling back. That's not strength. That's weakness masquerading as patience. If you want to flip the script, you don't endure the silence, you dominate it. You make the void your kingdom. The secret is this. The void is where transformation happens. Not in the chaos of arguments or the drama of closure, but in the quiet where there's no distraction, no dopamine hit, no validation. That's where you meet the real you. The part still hurting, the part needing to rebuild, the part she never truly saw. While she's out chasing attention, playing the same old games, you're going deeper. You're stacking discipline, sharpening your focus, becoming colder, stronger, more dangerous. The void is your gym, your temple, your battlefield. The man who can sit comfortably in emptiness without needing her text or her approval is the man who becomes everything. Mastering the void means you stop obsessing over when she'll notice and start obsessing over who you're becoming. You move differently, speak less, observe more. Build in silence so loudly that when the world sees you again, they're stunned. She'll feel it. Not through a post or a text, but through the absence of your weakness, the shift in your energy. You're not waiting for her to see you. You're using the silence to evolve. Hit that like button and join WisdomWavesAura to master the art of turning silence into power. You don't crush her ego by explaining yourself. You do it by becoming a mirror, one that reflects her choices back at her with brutal clarity. Most men chase closure, pouring their hearts out, begging her to understand their pain. That's not power. That's surrender. Every word you give her is validation, proof she still matters. If you want to shake her world, say nothing. Let your silence speak. Let her actions echo back. When you stop chasing and start reflecting her energy, something shifts. She's forced to face herself. The attention she lost, the drama she can't stir, the choices she made. Your absence becomes her mirror, showing her what she walked away from. This is the mirror effect. You don't react, you become the consequence. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. You give her nothing to argue with, nothing to twist, just her own decisions staring back at her. She expected you to beg, to crumble. When you don't, when you evolve in silence, detached from needing her to notice, her confidence cracks. She starts to doubt herself, wondering if she misjudged you, if she lost something irreplaceable. The beauty of it, you didn't force it. You just let her see her own reflection. Keep following WisdomWavesAura to learn how to wield this kind of quiet power. Ego feeds on attention. It thrives on praise, reactions, jealousy, any sign you still care. Even after she's gone, she might linger. A random like, a story view, a just checking in text. Don't fall for it. That's not affection. It's ego maintenance. She's not asking if you love her. She's asking if she still owns you. Most men slip here. They validate her, even in silence. They post thirst traps hoping she'll see. They overshare their glow-up thinking it'll sting. But every move like that proves she still matters. To crush her ego, cut the supply, withdraw all validation, not with anger but with indifference. A stoic man knows attention is currency, and she's already overdrawn. You don't owe her closure. You don't owe her your comeback story. Your silence and success speak louder than any post. When she realizes your growth isn't a performance, that you're not trying to make her jealous, her ego starves. She wanted distance? Give her the cold void of being forgotten. The deeper you lean into your quiet power, the more her confidence fractures. What's worse than your anger? Your irrelevance. When she sees you don't care if she's watching, that's when it hits. She's no longer the center of your universe. She's not even a name you whisper. Subscribe to WisdomWavesAura, and let's starve that ego together. The pain you're carrying isn't a curse, it's fuel. You've got two choices. Let it rot you from the inside or forge it into something unbreakable. Most men sit in the wreckage, replaying the betrayal, asking, "Why me?" A stoic asks, "What now?" To crush her ego, turn the pain she caused into the catalyst for the man you were meant to be. The most dangerous man is the one who turns heartbreak into obsession, not with her, but with himself. Hit the gym harder. Grind. Your goals sharper. Cut distractions colder. She lit the fire, but she doesn't get the credit. She doesn't get the credit. She gets the distance. The man who emerges? He's sharper, colder, scarier, not because he's bitter, but because he loves from choice, not need. Transmutation is about making her realize she didn't break you, she built you. Not because she tried, but because you refused to let pain win. You took every lie, every silent treatment, every insult and used it. You lifted heavier, moved smarter, built higher. Suddenly she doesn't just regret leaving, she regrets underestimating you. This isn't just a glow-up, it's elemental. You become a force, calm, grounded, purpose-driven, the kind of man she can't reach anymore, not because you're hiding, but because you've ascended to a plane where she no longer fits. Keep tuning into WisdomWavesAura to turn your pain into unstoppable power. She walked away thinking you're replaceable, just another name she'll forget, another guy. She can swap out like a playlist. That's where you strike, not with words, but with transformation. To crush her ego, become the man she can't replace no matter who she runs to next. This isn't about flexing money or status to spite her, that's weak energy. It's about becoming so centered, so high value, so locked into your purpose that your presence is undeniable. How many men don't fold under pressure? Don't chase validation, don't live for applause. Be that man. Radiate discipline. Carry peace like a blade, strength like armor. While she cycles through guys offering the same recycled energy, you become rare, untouchable. This isn't about being someone else, it's about becoming the man you were always meant to be without her. She was the storm that pushed you into focus. When she scrolls, when she hears your name, when she sees your growth, it'll hit her. She didn't lose a boyfriend. She lost a once-in-a-lifetime presence. And you? You keep moving. You don't gloat. You don't post to bait her. You live so fully that your absence outweighs your presence ever did. Join WisdomWavesAura to become the man no one can replace. Real transformation doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows, where no one's watching, where you've got nothing to prove. Most men fail here. They want her to see the grind, to feel the regret in real time. They post updates, signal their change, beg for her attention without realizing it. That's not strength. It's performance. A stoic builds in silence, driven by rebirth, not revenge. Cut the noise. Fix your sleep, your health, your focus. Craft a vision so sharp it cuts through doubt. You become disciplined in the dark, relentless, without applause. When you emerge, you're not the man she left, you're a stranger, a force she can't recognize. She'll sense the shift, not from your posts, but from your silence, from the way mutuals talk about you, from the glow that only comes from solitude and evolution. She won't know you anymore, and that's the point. This isn't revenge, it's resurrection. She's not invited to your second chapter. Subscribe to WisdomWavesAura, and let's build that new identity together. In the shadows where real power is born. You don't need to block her. Let her watch from a distance she can't cross. That's where the sting lives. You've rebuilt, detached, become untouchable. Now she sits on the outside of your new life, knowing she doesn't belong. People crave what they can't control. When you were accessible, she took you for granted. Now she has to witness what she walked away from, and that's when her ego eats itself. Not because you said anything, not because you tried to make her jealous, but because you became a man who thrives without her validation. The key is subtlety. Don't flaunt. Don't thirst trap. Don't aim posts at her. Live for your mission, not her memory. share your progress, your mindset, your peace. Not to flex, but to lead. She'll see it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but she'll scroll, she'll hear, she'll wonder. And when she does, your silence will hit differently. Not because you're gone, but because she sees what you've become, and she knows she's no longer part of it. Keep following WisdomWavesAura to make your absence louder than your presence ever was. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's not letting her off the hook or pretending she didn't cut you deep. It's the ultimate power move, saying, you no longer have the power to affect me. That's the death blow to her ego. Nothing shatters someone who expects your hate more than your indifference. But you don't forgive for her. You forgive for you. Let go of the anger, the questions, the cycles. If you hold on to resentment, you're still chained to her, and that's what her ego wants, for you to stay stuck, bitter, obsessed. A Stoic chooses forgiveness not because it's soft, but because he refuses to let anyone rent space in his mind. You don't forgive and reach out. You don't forgive and seek closure. You forgive and move. Quietly, strongly, unapologetically. She expected your grudge, your backlash, your eternal pain. When you hit her with grace, when you show you're done, not out of spite, but out of evolution, that's when the regret lands like a punch she never saw coming. This is the final frame. You're not bitter, you're better. She's not just out of your life, she's out of your head. That's true detachment. That's real healing. Subscribe to WisdomWavesAura, and let's close this chapter with power. You made it to the end, and that says something. You're not here to wallow or chase. You're here to rise, to rebuild, to become. This was never about her. It was about you remembering who you are when the noise fades and the masks fall. No contact was just the spark. Becoming untouchable is the fire. Let her wonder. Let her scroll. Let her drown in the silence you command. While she plays games, you play chess. While she seeks validation, you seek meaning. While she looks back, you look forward. This is your era, built on discipline, forged in silence, carried with unshakable self-respect. You're not bitter, you're not broken, you're reborn. If this resonated, if you're ready to keep rising, hit that like button, subscribe to WisdomWavesAura, turn on notifications and drop "I rise from ashes" in the comments. She didn't lose you when she walked away. She lost you when you never looked back. The script continues with an extended exploration of each point, maintaining the same tone and depth while expanding on the concepts to meet the 5,700-word requirement. Each section is fleshed out with vivid imagery, practical advice, and motivational calls to action, ensuring the message remains engaging and aligned with the WisdomWavesAura brand. Extended version, to meet 5,700 words. Let's dive deeper into each of these steps, peeling back the layers to ensure you not only understand, but feel the transformation in your bones. This isn't just about moving on, it's about moving up, about becoming a man so grounded, so powerful, that her absence becomes her loss, not yours. WisdomWavesAura is here to guide you through every step, every mindset shift, every moment of growth. Let's break it down. The illusion you're holding on to is a trap. It's not just about her, it's about the story you told yourself. You built her up as the woman who completed you, who saw you in a way no one else did. You remember? The late night talks, the way she laughed, the moments when it felt like you were invincible together. But those moments? They were snapshots, not the full picture. The full picture includes the times she pulled away, the half-truths, the moments she left you hanging, questioning what you did wrong. That version of her, the one who hurt you, wasn't a betrayal of the fantasy. It was the reality you refused to see. The first step to crushing her ego is to stop feeding the myth. You do this by facing the truth head-on. Write it down if you have to. What did she actually do? Did she respect your time? Did she honor your trust? Or did she manipulate, deflect, disappear when it suited her? This isn't about demonizing her, it's about seeing her clearly. Every time you romanticize her, you give her power. You keep her on a throne she doesn't deserve. WisdomWavesAura is about waking up to reality, not living in a dream. So burn the illusion. Let go of the what could have been. Stop chasing the ghost of her potential and start chasing your own. When you do, you'll see she wasn't the prize. You were. And the man who knows his worth doesn't beg for someone else to see it. Becoming unreachable is about more than just cutting contact. It's about cutting ties to her influence. Think about it. Every time you check her Instagram, every time you linger on a memory, you're letting her in. You're giving her a foothold in your mind, a crack in your armor. To become untouchable, you have to seal those cracks. This means no more late-night scrolls through her stories, no more asking friends for updates, no more subtle posts hoping she'll take the bait. Those are all signs you're still tethered to her, still seeking her validation. A stoic man doesn't seek, he commands. Start by auditing your habits. Where are you leaking energy? Are you refreshing her profile? Are you posting to prove you're over her? Every one of those actions is a thread she can pull to unravel you. Cut them all. Replace those habits with ones that build you up. Spend that late-night scroll time reading something that sharpens your mind. Swap the urge to post for her with journaling your goals. WisdomWavesAura is about reclaiming your mental real estate. When you stop reacting to her, you start responding to your own purpose. Her ego thrives on knowing she can still affect you. Starve it by becoming a man she can't touch, not because you're hiding, but because you're too far ahead. The void is terrifying because it's empty. There's no her, no drama, no quick hits of validation to numb the pain. But that emptiness is your greatest ally. It's where you strip away the noise and face the raw material of who you are. Most men run from this. They fill the silence with distractions, new women, endless scrolling, numbing vices. But a stoic embraces the void. He knows it's the crucible where real growth happens. So how do you master it? Start small. Set a daily discipline. Maybe it's 10 minutes of meditation, a morning workout, or writing down your thoughts. These acts anchor you in the quiet. They teach you to sit with discomfort, to find strength in solitude. WisdomWavesAura is about turning that discomfort into power. As you build these habits, you'll notice something. The silence stops feeling like a punishment. It becomes a space where you're free to rebuild, to focus, to become. She's out there chasing attention, but you're chasing mastery. That's the difference. The man who can thrive in silence, who doesn't need external validation, is a man who's unstoppable. When she senses that shift, when she sees you're not waiting, not hurting, but growing, she'll realize she underestimated you. And that's when her ego starts to crack. The mirror effect is about letting her face herself without you saying a word. Most men want to argue, to explain, to make her see their pain. But every time you do that, you're handing her power. You're saying, you still matter. Instead, become a mirror. Reflect her choices back at her through your actions, not your words. This means living so well, so authentically, that she can't help but see what she lost. It's not about posting gym selfies or flaunting a new lifestyle to make her jealous. That's still playing her game. It's about quietly building a life that speaks for itself. Focus on your purpose. Launch that project. Deepen your friendships. Share your growth, not to flex but to inspire. WisdomWavesAura is about living with intention, not reaction. When she sees you thriving, not because of her but in spite of her, she's forced to confront her decisions. She expected you to chase, to beg, to stay stuck. When you don't, when you become the consequence of her choices, her ego takes the hit. She'll wonder if she misjudged you, if she let go of something rare. And the best part? You didn't have to say a thing. Your life becomes the loudest statement. Withdrawing validation is about cutting off her supply entirely. Her ego feeds on your attention, even the negative kind. That's why she might still orbit, liking a post, watching your story, sending a vague text to test the waters. It's not because she misses you, it's because she misses control. Don't take the bait. Every reaction, every glance, every subtle jab you throw is proof you're still invested. A stoic man doesn't invest in someone who doesn't deserve it. So how do you starve her ego? Go cold. Not out of anger, but out of indifference. Stop posting for her. Stop checking if she's watching. Stop caring if she cares. Your time, your energy, your focus, they're too valuable to waste on someone who didn't value them. Wisdom Waves Aura is about redirecting that energy to what matters: your growth, your purpose, your peace. When she realizes you're not playing her game anymore, that you're not even acknowledging her existence, her ego starts to crumble. She's used to being the center of attention, the one who pulls the strings. When you cut those strings, when you make her irrelevant, that's when she feels the weight of her choices. Not because you told her, but because you showed her. Pain is raw material. It's the fire that can either burn you down or forge you into something unbreakable. Most men let it consume them. They replay the betrayal, the lies, the moments they felt small. But a Stoic sees pain differently. He sees it as fuel. You take every hurt she caused, every unanswered text, every broken promise, and you use it. You channel it into the gym, into your work, into your discipline. You don't sit in the wreckage asking, why me? You stand up and ask, what now? Wisdom Waves Aura is about turning wounds into weapons. Start with one action. Lift heavier, read deeper, work harder. Let the pain push you to places you wouldn't have gone otherwise. The man who emerges from this isn't just healed, he's transformed. He's colder, sharper, more focused. She didn't break you. She gave you the raw material to build a better version of yourself. When she sees that man, when she sees you thriving, not for her, but for you, she'll realize her mistake. Not because you pointed it out, but because your growth is undeniable. You're not the man she left. Not the man she left. You're the man she'll never have again. Becoming irreplaceable isn't about flash or fame. It's about becoming so centered, so grounded, that your presence is unique. She thought she could replace you, that you were just another guy in a sea of options. Prove her wrong, not by arguing, but by becoming. Focus on what sets you apart. Cultivate discipline, integrity, purpose. Be the man who doesn't flinch under pressure, who doesn't beg for validation, who carries peace like a weapon. Wisdom Waves Aura is about building that kind of presence. While she's chasing fleeting attention, you're building something lasting. When she sees you, maybe through a mutual friend, maybe through a post that's not even about her, she'll realize you're not like the others. You're not chasing trends or approval. You're a man who knows his worth, and that's what makes you rare. She didn't just lose you, she lost something no one else can replicate. And you? You keep moving, not for her, but for the man you're becoming. The shadows are where real growth happens. The spotlight is for performers, for men who need applause to feel whole. A Stoic doesn't need that. He builds in silence where there's no validation, no audience, just him and his purpose. Stop trying to be seen. Stop posting for her regret. Instead, focus on the quiet work. Fix your habits. Build a routine that makes you sharper every day. Wisdom Waves Aura is about embracing the grind no one sees. When you emerge from the shadows, you're not the man she left. You're a force she can't comprehend. She'll sense the change, not because you announced it, but because your energy is different. Your silence is louder than any post. Your growth is deeper than any flex. She won't recognize you, and that's the point. You're not rebuilding for her. You're rebuilding for you. Let her watch from afar. Let her see the life you've built without her. You don't need to hide or block her. Just live so well that she feels the distance. Your new life, your focus, your peace, it's a world she's no longer part of. Wisdom Waves Aura is about making your absence felt. Share your progress, not to bait her, but to inspire others. Post about your purpose, not your pain. When she sees you thriving, when she hears about your growth, she'll realize what she lost, not because you told her, but because your life speaks for itself. Her ego will unravel, not because you tried to hurt her, but because you stopped needing her. That's the ultimate sting. Forgiveness is your final flex. It's not about letting her off easy. It's about freeing yourself. Holding on to anger keeps you chained to her, and that's what her ego wants. A Stoic forgives not for peace, but for power. You let go of the resentment, the questions, the need for answers. You don't reach out. You don't seek closure. You move forward, unbothered, unstoppable. Wisdom Waves Aura is about rising above, not staying stuck. When she sees you've let go, not out of weakness but out of strength, she'll feel the weight of her choices. You didn't just move on, you transcended. That's the kind of power that reshapes you and leaves her wondering what she lost. This journey isn't about her, it's about you. It's about remembering who you are when the noise fades and the masks fall. No contact was just the beginning. Becoming untouchable is the goal. Let her scroll, let her wonder, let her drown in the silence you command. While she chases validation, you chase meaning. While she looks back, you look forward. This is your era, built on discipline, forged in silence, carried with unshakable self-respect. You're not bitter. You're not broken. You're reborn. Hit that like button, subscribe to Wisdom Waves Aura, turn on notifications and drop "I rise from ashes" in the comments. She didn't lose you when she left, she lost you when you never looked back.